Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Daddy Daughter Dishes.
Hey, man. We 20 years old today, ain't we? 20
we?
episodes.
Are we 20?
I think it's number 20, man.
You know,
I think it's
20
number 20.
is kind of a shitty age, right? Because you just became an adult,
I don't know.
but you still can't do some adult things.
Right?
Like
legally. You can do everything. You can't legally go into bars.
You can't gamble. You
buy
can't
no
drink.
liquor.
You can't rent a car without paying some crazy extra young driver's fee tax. It's just like, I can't wait for this one to be over.
But you can bear arms and go fight in a war somewhere.
That you can. And you can vote. And you can vote.
You can vote. But whether it count or not is a whole other thing. But you can damn sure go cast your ballot.
Welcome back to another. I'm your host. I did the intro. I'm your host, Kiara. And with me, I have my lovely co-host,
BJ, the daddy.
He is the daddy. I am the daughter, and this is Daddy Daughter Dishes. If you are new here, welcome. You might want to keep your shoes on because you might be leaving after if you are a certain type of person. Just keep your shoes on. Don't get too comfy just yet. Just strap in, but don't get strap in, but don't start taking stuff. Don't take your purse off. Keep your hat on. Jacket, keep it on.
That's it. That's if you knew. That's if you knew.
Yeah.
If you're a regular, kick your feet up, get comfy. Because I feel like we got some heat we coming with today in this episode. So y'all buckle up. Even those that are new, buckle up because we finna touch some shit. We finna cause some cognitive dissonance. We finna cause some inner turmoil.
FBI watch list.
Yeah, we finna go in on a couple of things.
Okay.
But before then, how has your week been since the last time we spoke?
Since the last time we spoke, well, I am wearing glasses.
Not spoke. I shouldn't say that. Since the last time we recorded, we'll say. Not necessarily spoke.
Since the last time we recorded, I still have this thing on my eyeballs that doesn't seem to be going away.
You got that turbo eye going on.
Yeah, I got that turbo eye going on. Do you know I posted that on TikTok saying that you said that, and it went semi-viral. And I was like, hey, y'all don't be joining in on my daddy joining me. Everybody was like, but he was right though. And I was like, he was.
It was on point.
It was.
He wasn't ready.
You'll never tell me a lie. But yeah.
I damn sure ain't joining on you.
It was good though. CJ's family came down. Mr. Chris's birthday is, oh snap, is it today? What's today? No, it's not today. It's 25th? Coming up. Is today the 25th? Are you serious?
Today is the 25th.
I think his birthday is tomorrow.
I'm dead ass.
I think it's the 26th. But anyways,
okay.
They came up.
Happy birthday to Mr. Chris.
Happy birthday,
That's
Mr.
my
Chris.
dude right there, Mr. Chris.
I got him a good Father's Day card. He was like, "Who picked this out?" And then they pointed at me, and I was like, "I did." But they came down, and Kayla's friend, Kayla and Sly's friends, Ashley and Bari. Shout out to Ashley and Bari. They came up, and so I was able to show them the house. I don't know if you remember it was in the early episodes, but I talked about we went to Kayla's birthday party, and that's when I had got a little too tipsy and I was a little too loud, and CJ put me in check in the car.
Yeah, I remember.
So the friends that was there when I was there being loud and stuff, I was like, yeah, because I'm getting a house bill, and I can't. When I have a house bill, everybody, we're gonna do this again. And so when we was here. They came here. Ashley and Bari came with Kayla and Sly, And we was like, we made it happen. And I wasn't drunk that time. But yeah,
spoke it into existence.
I told Kayla that they have to be friends forever now because they're our friends now too. So shout out to Ashley and Bari. But yeah, it was a really good time. We had like another soft launch of the house. And it was a pretty chill and relaxed weekend. Yeah. My friend had her baby today. Shout out to, she had it yesterday. She had him yesterday. Shout out to Alana and Parker and baby P. Welcome Preston into the world. Woo!
All right. Welcome. Goddamn it. Welcome.
I'm sorry for what awaits because this world is crazy. But you
make it what it's gonna be.
That's what I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna follow up with. But you got a circle of folks who gonna love on him and love on his parents and everything like that. But yeah.
Hey, and while Ashley, that love is big.
While Ashley and Bari was here, they put me on to Bundaberg ginger beer.
Bundaberg ginger beer.
Bundaberg.
That sounds like some bougie shit.
It's non-alcoholic, but it's like real ginger ale. It's like it came straight from the gingers. Never mind, I ain't gonna finish what I was gonna say. But it's delicious.
Say it came straight from the gingerbread man. Oh shoot.
Wait, is gingerbread made of ginger?
Hey, that is not a question for me because I have no idea.
I am gonna Google that really quick because that would make sense.
Google it.
For some reason, gingerbread is gingerbread made out of ginger. Okay, somebody else had this question. Gingerbread refers to a broad category typically flavored with ginger, cloves, nutmeg. Oh, so yes, it does contain ginger.
So yeah.
Nice.
It does. That's probably why they call it the gingerbread man.
I didn't, I thought maybe that was his hobby. He liked to ginger. I didn't know.
It's his hobby. Oh, my week was cool, man. Like, I ain't really get into too much of nothing. Went down to Nesbitt this past weekend and didn't do much of nothing on Saturday. Sunday, got up, went to visit Uncle Dave, and he just so happened to be washing his truck when I pulled up. So I asked him if he had enough energy to help me wash my truck. So we washed my truck. Then we sat down, chopped it up a little bit. Then I went to visit Gator Jones and the real Mrs. Jones and Uncle G-Nero. And we sat with them for a while, just sat, watched a little TV, nothing major. And then I made a huge mistake.
You got ice
for
cream?
A Sunday afternoon. No, it wasn't ice cream. I wish it was ice cream.
You got a little tipsy.
No, I got drunk. Damn tipsy. I was past tipsy.
You got drunk? You got drunk?
Man, so me and Tanya B had went, made our rounds. And Judy B, she had the baby but we was gone for quite some time. And while we wasn't planning on being gone that long because I had plans to leave from down there about 3:00 Sunday afternoon because I had plans to pick up Mari Sunday and make it on back up here to Evansville and, get her situated so I can start my work week. Things did not work out as planned because somehow another Sunday afternoon ended up at a Mexican restaurant and they had some top shelf margaritas going on. Mm-hmm. And I had one, and then I had two. And I was feeling really, really good after two. And my ass
got a third
said,
one.
Give me another one. I went for three.
That's where I fucked up in San Francisco.
When I tell you,
that third time is not the charm. Third time is a trick bag. Don't fall for it.
I got a picture I gotta show y'all. Somebody took of me. It's just I was passed out, and needless to say, I didn't make it back to Southern Illinois or Southern Indiana. And yeah.
Did you have a hangover?
I did get Mari picked up. I didn't have a hangover. I didn't have a hangover.
That's a win. That's a win.
It's a win. I don't really like to get de-runk. Not de-runk. But I get a little real tipsy every now and then.
You're gonna get fucking shit-faced, man.
What they call that? White boy wasted.
White boy wasted. Get white boy wasted. Well, that sounds like an eventful weekend.
But not, yeah, I mean, got past that, got Mari picked up yesterday. We came up, got her situated to where the extra room in here is kind of feels like, home away from home, so to speak. Got her for the next, I think, 10 days or whatever. And she said that she may pop her head in and say hi. I don't know, how that goes. She may or may not. But she's here with me, and we're going to try to enjoy each other's company and spend some quality time with each other. And other than that, that's all. As I told you earlier, I have a interview on next Thursday at 10 a.m. at a power company.
Is this the same company I helped you with your stuff on the other day? Oh, not the other day, but a few weeks ago?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It's crazy. That's been quite a while ago. And I was just talking to Judy B the other day about, her and Tanya B, about, what, these folks, they ain't sent me no email saying thank you for applying, but we, nothing. I got nothing. So I'm laying in the bed yesterday afternoon because I was tired after the drive up and, feeling the effects of being a little tipsy. And I get a phone call. Now, normally when my phone rings, if a name don't pop up and I don't recognize the number, I don't normally answer. But I seen the 504 area code. Huh?
I was trying to say your voicemail.
What you say? Oh, but no, so it was a 504 number. And I was like, you know what? I should probably answer this. So I answered it. And lo and behold, it was the talent acquisition department for a certain power company reaching out to me to see when I might be available for an interview. So, yeah, we got that going on. Got it scheduled. They called me back this morning. Got it scheduled for next Thursday at 10 a.m. So we're going to see how that works out and go from there.
Well, I think we'll have another update before then. So we'll have another episode we'll have dropped by the time do it. So, well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I say congrats on getting to the first step.
In advance, yeah, go ahead, because I'm gonna knock it out.
That too.
Just like
you're gonna knock it out. Just go in there and just be you. Just be you. Oh,
that's it. That's it.
Okay, so I know we're getting to the meat and potatoes of this thing, but while my father-in-law was here, I like to I don't know what you call it when you like to just butt head a little bit. disagree with the person just to get the conversation going. So
be a little contrary. Gotta be a little contrary.
Yeah, just for the sake of conversation. So he was
Right,
telling
playing
me
devil's advocate.
absolutely. So he was telling me about these North Carolina, which it's funny, I knew nothing about it until he said it. I was like, what? That's crazy. But it's the North Carolina, they have a surveillance program. North Carolina is using cameras and AI technology to detect drivers using phones, not wearing seatbelts, and speeding. Now, truckers are not happy with this. They said it invades their privacy. Um, and they're upset about the use of surveilling technology. And I just wanted to get your thoughts on that in the first place. Because and I'm gonna say it like this, because Mr. Chris had showed me a TikTok. He was like, it was a trucker talking, and he was like, if you're not wearing your seatbelt, if you're on the phone, if you're doing XYZ, you're gonna get a ticket. And I was like, I don't see an issue. But I don't see an issue to an extent. But Mr. Chris said, he wasn't really feeling it. He said that's messed up. He said truckers shouldn't be getting all these tickets for if they driving. Got their phone in their hand, speeding, driving crazy, whatever. And so I wanted to hear what you thought, because I feel like, which it might be like the goody two shoes in me, that's like that shouldn't be an issue for you if you're not on your phone while you're driving, and if you're wearing your seatbelt.
So here's my take just off top. I haven't done any research on this. Just from my history of being a truck driver, and the thing with a lot of so-called truck drivers today. We kind of talked about this last week when we was talking about AI and how autonomous trucks, and I went on a rant on how a lot of drivers aren't real drivers. There's no professionalism. So if you're a trucker and you're a professional trucker, because if you hold a Class A CDL and you have certain endorsements, you don't necessarily have to have any endorsements like hazmat, doubles, tankers, or anything like that, but you still possess a Class A CDL, just like being a lineman. There's a certain amount of professionalism that's supposed to be associated with you when you call yourself a trucker. Like, why are you not wearing your seatbelt? Why would you be all these laws that they have and all this technology that they have for you to be able to talk on your phone and not be holding your phone? Like, that's a law in several states. Like, I know Arkansas would tear your ass up if you driving a commercial vehicle and you holding your cell phone. You could talk, you got, as long as it's headless, you got headsets, AirPods, earbuds, whatever.
You better hold
But if you
on.
holding that phone and somebody see you, they gonna tear your ass up. With the wrecks and shit associated with a lot of these accidents, I don't have a problem with it. Now, the thing that would cause me to throw up some red flags about it is the surveillance part of it. Because when you say surveillance, black folks in general, why the fuck are you just using that to search out these certain things like seatbelts, speeding, phones? If you only doing those certain things, cool. But we know just as well as anybody that when them motherfuckers watching you, they watching everything. So that would be the part for me that'd be like, I'm cool as long as that's all they're doing. But we all know that if they doing one, they doing it all. And it's just a matter of if you get yourself in a situation where they can use it all against you, then they will, And that's kind of just my take of it off top.
Yeah. So I think like what you were saying is kind of where my mindset was coming from. Because I was like, okay, first of all these laws are in place for the safety of everybody on the road. And if you are a trucker, you do have the responsibility of carrying hella weight with you. And that comes with more responsibility than handling an everyday vehicle. And so I feel like if you can't do the minor things, such as put your seatbelt on and not be on your phone while you're driving, then you need a ticket.
Then you shouldn't be a trucker. Like,
and yet you
it's not
need
that
that. If you need
difficult.
that
Like,
reinforcement, if you need me to send you a ticket, here at least put your shit on,
here you go.
because the cell
That's all
phone
you gotta do.
is the main. When I be riding on the highway, as soon as I see trucks all
Man.
in my lane, I pull up, I look over,
And when
they
you get up there by them,
all in their damn phone. I'm
all in the
talking
phone.
like
Yep.
ain't even one dude wasn't even holding on to the
Ain't
wheel. I said, wait.
Ain't paying no attention to the road.
I hit my gas so hard.
I see it all the time.
And that bothers me because I feel like, that you have the potential to hurt a lot of people, including yourself. And why wouldn't you take those protective measures to keep you and everybody around you safe? But at the same time, I do understand the surveillance aspect, because like we said, the government is not entirely transparent about their motives, especially not up front.
We don't trust them.
We don't trust them.
Fuck them. We don't trust them.
But listen to this, y'all. Let me tell you this. If the government is surveilling you while you driving, I can guarantee you they are already surveilling you. So
they're surveilling you while you watching TV.
You got your TV,
while
you got
you
your
sleeping.
smart, you got the Alexa, you got your phone, you talk too much in your Facebook. They if they want you, they can find you. But yeah,
they what we call own that ass 24/7. They own our ass 24/7.
You got
Ain't no
one of them,
getting away from them.
Exactly. You got one of them 9-digit numbers. They know how to find your ass if you do.
Oh yeah, they know. Hey, most of the times they know where you gonna be before you know where you gonna be.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I have an ad waiting for you before you even finish talking about it. You thinking I want some popcorn? Now you smell popcorn, and suddenly you got ads for movie theaters and popcorn on your phone. They try to get you to go see Barbie.
Oh, they got a lot of people, because there's a lot of people going to see Barbie. I
was always more of a Bratz kind of girl. But anyway, talking about government and how we do not trust them. All right, we're not gonna stay on this too long. I'm giving you got to a 50-minute mark. We got to hour. I think we can get it today. You know what I'm talking about.
It depends on what you're talking about.
I'm talking
about. I don't know
what
you're talking about yet.
The damn panhandle ass state, and they pro.
No, we ain't talking about that first. No, we gonna talk about the entertainment stuff first.
Okay,
we gonna save that one for last.
Okay, because you're gonna talk a lot.
We gonna talk about
Carlee Russell,
this phantom. This
fast ass baby
kidnapping.
This fast ass NFL running back toddler.
Hey, she was in Alabama. That baby already signed up for Alabama.
Hey,
can't nobody.
So how closely have you been following the story?
So I have not been following it closely. I saw some stuff on Facebook from some people, and then something was like, "Man, let's put a toe in this rabbit hole and see what the hell going on." So I kind of tuned in when they done the initial press conference with the law enforcement and the agencies associated with, the rescue efforts, so to speak. And I was like, oh man, come on. Like, the thing for me is this: you do something like that, and when somebody especially a young black woman, actually comes up missing, people may have a tendency to be like, you know what, this motherfucker probably just like that girl down there in Alabama. Mm-hmm. We ain't finna put no money in. We gonna act like we looking for, but we ain't doing this because this feels all too familiar. Mm-hmm. And that's a very unfortunate thing. It's probably a negative way of thinking about it, but
I mean, it's a realistic way.
Man, they don't appear to value our lives. You know, they seem like they was going all out to try to find her. And thank God she was found. She obviously I don't know anything about the young lady or her family life or anything like that, but it seems like she was trying to get some attention from some people or somebody. I don't know. But it's just unfortunate that, you know, her story that captivated the country for several days ended up being one, according to law enforcement in their investigation, that it seemed like it was something that was made up, and that's just unfortunate. And speaking of, you know, we were just talking about the government watching you. You got these goddamn cell phones, these laptops, and any kind of technology that you call yourself using, and then you want to put a hoax out, or you want to say, you can't be Googling shit like how much Googled, it costs to do an Amber Alert, or do you have to pay for an Amber Alert?
She searched need to pay / max age for an Amber Alert, how to take money from a register without being caught, Birmingham bus station, one-way bus ticket to Nashville, the movie Taken. Right.
Taken.
She like, was gonna be Liam Neeson. Like you. First of all, the first rule of committing a crime is you do not use your phone to search for a committed crime. That's how you. That's so dumb. First of all, so I asked you how close you had been.
I don't know how you know that. What? I don't know how you know that, but it sounds very accurate.
Because I listened to true crime podcasts. That's why. But I asked how closely you had been watching because I was following from start, right? Because I had a lot of. Okay. First of all, she is a member. Well, as of right now, to my knowledge, she is a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. So I was seeing a lot of news being shared.
Not a skiwi.
Yes, a freaking soror. And so it was, you know, everybody was sharing it. She's missing. It was like, help us find our soror. I'm like, bet, share, support. Right. How they gonna find her?
Because initially, that's what
you never think
the goodness in you, the goodness in people. Mm-hmm. We don't want to hear about nobody missing, no young lady, no young man, no baby, nobody missing from their family. Like that triggers us. Like that's a very, I'm sure it's a very traumatic experience for that family. Like, so yes, if we can share it, because we don't live in Alabama.
Nope.
But if we see the story, we might touch some people that might see something.
Exactly. So I shared it. And, you know, me and my friends in the group chat, we had all shared. We was like, prayers for Carlee. You know, we hope she come back. But also, you know, people were talking about ways people get sex trafficked. And there was a lot of information about how to stay safe and everybody's opinions on whether they would have helped see the baby, help save the baby, or if they would have kept driving. All of this. And so it kind of sat in the back of my mind. And then I see the video. I see her car video.
The flashing light, the flash is on.
And that's when I started asking questions because it didn't make sense. It like if you glance at it, if you glance at the headline, okay, boom, woman missing, saw a baby on the road, called police, probably got snatched up by some people. That sounds totally true. But when you see her with her flashers on, going like 20 miles an hour down the side, and thinking about a baby running in that far, I think it was 60 yards.
It's a fast ass baby.
600 yards. And not running out into traffic, because babies don't run straight. So that's when what you say?
And now you behind the baby.
Now
with
you
your
behind the baby
on.
with the flashes on, but you still going real fast. So you done ran this baby over. Like nothing was adding
20
up.
plus.
And then
that's when you start asking questions.
Sis had conveniently left her wig. It felt too much like a staged crime. It felt like someone said, "Let me fake me being kidnapped," and they didn't realize that those cameras was gonna be there. And then when she came home, I said, she's lying. I didn't post about it because I'm still gonna always trust Black women at the first go round until I see otherwise. So I see anything to give me any other reason.
Right.
But I was just really kind of just disappointed because people were saying things like, it's not like the police.
They waste.
Some people were saying stuff though, like they were like, police don't look for Black women anyways. They was like, Carlee, it don't set us back because there's no bar to be set. And I just felt like that was just I know statistically it's true, but I just felt like it took a lot of personal accountability away from her because the conversation shifted more towards protect Black women, which is, you do protect Black women, trust Black women, believe Black women, because I am a Black woman. But at the same time, we gotta have some fucking responsibility here because you really pulled okey-doke on everybody for a lot of people, like of wanting attention from whoever.
So there's a couple things that after the fact I wanted to kind of touch on regarding a story like this is, first of all, we have an inherent distrust of law enforcement. But from what I saw, like I say, I didn't watch too much, I didn't follow too much, but it seems as if all the agencies, all the available agencies were utilized in trying to find her for those several days that she was quote unquote missing. Like, I know we give police a hard time, and rightfully so. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, you got to give props when props is due. Like, if they did a thorough job of investigating.
Don't applaud a fish for swimming, but acknowledgement at least. Like, you can't just be the contrarian just for the sake of being like a contrarian
all the time.
Yeah, that's just how I feel. Because I know realistically, like I really am into like the true crime podcasts and stuff. Like there's missions, like people are trying to find the missing Black girls. People are trying to find missing Black women, revive cold cases. And it just when you make a general statement like something like, they ain't looking for Black women anyways, I just feel like that discredits a lot of the efforts that go on. People are literally like, they have podcast episodes, documentaries. People are still searching for loved ones that went missing years ago with the help of, law enforcement and the agencies that be. And I just feel like it just felt, I didn't like it. I felt like I was stuck in the middle because I was like, I feel where y'all are coming from. But at the same time, let's think critically here. Let's hold Carlee accountable because fact is fact.
Absolutely,
she lied, and just to have us to do that. Well, because how old was you when old girl faked her kidnapping? Sherry. Sherry. What is her name? Sherry Shapiro. Sherry. Papini, the
Shit, I
California
don't even
woman.
know who you talking about.
Oh, she had like faked her kidnapping
But
and said some black guys had like took her and she had just ran
oh,
away.
uh, so that is it's funny you say that because I was having a thought to where um dang, I lost the thought. I'm getting old. I done lost the damn thought. Anyway, yeah, like it's just unfortunate because there are detectives out there who get assigned some of these cases and the cases go cold because they can't look for something. If they don't have clues, they don't get phone calls from people trying to help. Then what do you want them to do? You want them to pull a missing person out of thin air? Like, what are they supposed to do? Like, if you watch something, even like First 48, some of the dedication that them guys they put to a case, they'll go and they'll knock on the door of a family and give them an update or let them know that, I know you ain't heard from me in a while. I just want to give you an update. Or even if they crack the case, it might be years later. They'll be like, we found we get your family is about to get some justice. And I think it would benefit us all as a society to keep that in mind when we're talking about law enforcement, because there are some good people, some dedicated people working in law enforcement. I just think the whole law enforcement system could use a once over, when it comes to dealing with certain aspects of our community, especially unarmed black men, unarmed brown men, Hispanics, and black women, and poor white people. Because we talked about this before. Poor white people, they catch hell just like some of us do. It's just that they ain't smart enough to know that they in the same boat in the eyes of some folks that we are, and they look at us and try to look down on us is because of the color of our skin. A lot of them do, not all of them, but many of them do.
Wait, pause that thought really
But yeah,
quick.
man,
So
hold that thought.
I was just before we started recording, I was like, I just finished this book and it like disappointed me at the end, the ending. The author, there's a book
Mm-hmm.
called Razorblade Tears by S.A. Cosby, no relation to Bill, and it
Okay.
is it's this very niche genre, but I love it, and it's like the author is a black author, but the main character is always a black guy, and it seems like his supporting character or the guy that you want to hate but end up loving is some poor white trash hillbilly
Mm-hmm.
person who's helping the black guy, like, either solve this case or get to the bottom of things. And it was a refreshing read for me, even though it was including a lot of violence and stuff. But it I know, like, we are conditioned to, think all types of people are bad and be angry at the world. But I'm like, the reality I live in is not
You
that
can't
way.
do
It's
it.
not black and white.
It's not that way.
It's not black and white at all.
No.
And that leads me to something else that I wanted to ask you about, because I know we said we not going to talk about this one long, but the Jason Aldean scandal, outrage thing right now. The try that in a small town song as causing
Mm-hmm.
uproar throughout the social media streets because of the
The video
notion.
associated with it.
Yes, the video associated with this. So I wanted to say first, when I first heard about the outrage, I heard that people were upset about the song. And when I
Mm-hmm.
heard that, I went and listened to the song. First of all, song is
Me too.
trash. Song is trash. But the try that in a small town, that as a person from a very small town, I got it. I was like, yeah, I mean, bet. Like, you come to Ullen, our community, we have a tight community in the area. And so I'm like, okay, I understand. Like, I get what they saying. Everybody, there is a certain comfort in a community, especially a small one, bet. But then I see the video. And I felt like Jason Aldean had just called me a nigga to my face.
That's the part. That's the part of a lot of people who.
Damn! Now I gotta backtrack because I was saying I don't see the problem. Now I'm out here looking coonish. But then when I saw that video, I said, "Oh, Jason."
I think Jason got took. I think he got took. I think he got whoever made that video. Maybe he did, and I'm just talking. This is for conversation only. Maybe he didn't know. Maybe he knew and didn't care, or maybe he don't understand how I don't think a lot of people. I'm gonna say this.
I know exactly.
I don't think a lot of our Caucasian counterparts and many of our African American and other counterparts across different racial, the rainbow spectrum of race. I don't think we understand the impact that sound, sight plays on our mind and what that does to us. Like you said, you listen to that song at first and you was like, okay, yeah, it's trash, but it ain't no big deal. I get it. Because I was kind of the same way.
Right.
When I saw the video and the images associated with the words that was coming out his mouth at the same time, it's like, okay, this some bullshit. Like, why in the fuck is all these images of like protests and you got people spitting in cops' faces and shit like that, and you talking about, you gonna do something with your granddaddy's gun and all this old bullshit. And it's like, now once you associate it with the damn pictures in the video, it's like, man, you on some bullshit. Don't nobody want to hear this bullshit. Get the hell out of here with that mess. And people, they don't understand that because number one, people don't be wanting.
Do they not understand it, or do they not want to understand it? Because I feel like
they don't be
people
wanting
really
to
be reaching. Like, I try
that.
to avoid Facebook comments for this reason because they're always so obtuse, and I'm like, yo, you cannot be this dumb. And I really have to hold myself back from just like commenting on people's stuff and being like, you need to go get evaluated because you are missing a few screws, buddy.
I saw one, I don't know if it was last night or it was last night because I ain't had time to look at Facebook really today. It said, I stand with Jason Aldean. And I was thinking to myself, what the fuck are you standing for? Like,
racism?
What do you mean? Like,
you standing for
like, what? Jason Aldean trying to make, he got a song talking about try that in a small town. Jason Aldean is from Macon, Georgia. From my understanding, Macon, Georgia, it got a population of like 200,000 people. It might not have been 200,000 people when Jason Aldean was growing up there, but I guarantee you it wasn't no small town. So, like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't get it. Like, people,
and then ignoring the fact that the pictures, the riots from the pictures that are in the video are literally because people were upset about human beings losing their lives at the hands of police officers
going on in their town.
So instead of acknowledging,
it's some bullshit.
Instead of acknowledging, like, damn, he could have used some. There's other. I'm sure there are. I'm sure there are small town football teams that have lost a game or won a game and started a little riot and they, lit a little car on fire and you could use pictures of that.
You could have, if you wanted to go the route that you went, you could have used some images from the January 6th protest or whatever the fuck, the insurrection or whatever you call it.
You mean the tour by negative images there. You mean the tour?
Yeah, you could.
I'm so fucking. Oh my god.
You could have used some. You could have used some images from. Was that Williamsburg, Virginia, or Charlottesville?
No, Charlottesville.
Charlottesville, Virginia, with the boys in the khakis and shit. Yep. The girl getting ran over by the idiot. You could have used some of those because nobody in a small town wants that kind of thing happening in their town.
Absolutely
they're not going to stand by and they're not going to do that. So you could use some of those images as well.
Absolutely.
But most of your images was from like Black Lives Matter protests.
Yeah.
And images from protests in Canada and whatnot. But yeah. It's some bullshit.
Just make my ass itch. The song was trash anyways. So, that's that.
Try that in a small town.
Try performing that.
Let's talk about some more trash.
Town. Oh.
Let's talk about...
who are we talking about?
We're going to talk about the Florida State Board of Education and their approval of this new curriculum for their middle school students that in essence says that slaves,
you got the quote.
Some slaves.
You got the quote?
I'm gonna get to that in a minute. But
okay.
We're just gonna give a little broad overview before I get a little real specific. Some slaves could have benefited from skills they learned from being slaves, and those skills could have been applied for their personal benefit as slaves. Let's think about that for a second.
Slave and benefit don't even go in the same sentence. That's an oxymoron there.
An oxymoron. There is nothing beneficial about being a slave to anybody, anywhere. There ain't no benefits coming from being a slave. Like, even if I ain't never been a slave. I ain't never fucking gonna be no slave to nobody either. But this bullshit from this damn curriculum, and they approved the shit. Like, this is the part I don't understand. Like, they had the head of the Teachers Association, I think he from down there. He was on TV speaking out against it. Kudos to him. Why in the fuck would anybody in their rational mind be like, yeah, this sound good. This sound good. That sound good.
Because they believe that shit. That. They have brainwashed themselves to believe. The media has really. Side note: social media was the worst thing to happen to human civilization. But they have
the worst and the best.
The worst and the best. They have really brainwashed themselves and been brainwashed by the media. People believe this stuff, Daddy. Like, they think that and they feel like they are really fighting for their cause. That's the crazy part. They really think that they are.
I know.
They really think that they
on the right side of.
They think they on the right side of fucking history.
They think they on the right side of history.
They think that the Lord sent them here to do that.
And that's a whole. We could go on a tangent with that in itself about what the Lord sent somebody to do.
How far do we let them get? Because the powers that be have to know.
Pause.
Okay.
Hold that second. Hold that thought a second. It's just like you talked about a minute ago about, we was talking about law enforcement and how, and this is the thought I was trying to have then, but I forgot. Most people don't think that law enforcement are working in those avenues because you don't see the shit on the nightly news. You don't see it on CNN. You don't see it on 60 Minutes. You don't see it on Fox News. You don't see that kind of stuff because that ain't gonna get nobody no ratings. Searching for black girls ain't gonna get nobody no ratings. So they ain't gonna fucking talk about it. That doesn't mean that nobody's talk is working on that. It's just like when you hear people talk about the violence in Chicago. There are numerous groups, organizations in Chicago fighting every day to keep that senseless bullshit from going on that we see put on the news all the time. But you'll have people sitting around saying shit like, they just sit back, they ain't doing nothing in Chicago to try to fight this or fight that. You ain't from Chicago. You don't know shit about Chicago. Keep Chicago out your fucking mouth. And anywhere else that you don't know shit about and you want to speak on. But it's just like with this situation. Like you said.
Turbo done shit somewhere. Hold on 1 second. Hold on serious moment. Hold on just a second. Turbo, hold on, come here.
Turbo done took the shit somewhere.
Did you fart? Say, Papa, I farted. You fart. Say you want to say something to the podcast?
Terps?
Say something to the podcast. Say something to people. Hey, what up, though? All right, I'll let y'all get back to your conversation. I'm gonna go fart some more. No, but it really smelled like turds. I got a blanket on. I'm trying to make sure he ain't actually shit on. I think he farted because he was asleep. He be farting in his sleep. All right, I'm sorry. I just had to make sure that he hadn't shit on my blanket because we just washed this blanket and that's my favorite one. All right. Whew, sorry.
Oh shit.
My bad.
I done lost where I was at. Like you said,
to keep your name out
people
Chicago
would
mouth.
use
Keep Chicago
religion
out your mouth.
Yeah, if you ain't from there, if you ain't doing no community work there, it keeps Chicago out your mouth because you ain't got a fucking clue what's going on up there. And people like you touched on, people use Christianity, the Lord, Jesus, as
Our Lord and Savior Jesus
platform
Christ
for their bullshit. And they will disguise it in a way to make you be like, oh yeah, that is definitely the way. But I didn't read the whole bill that as far as it's concerned with the Florida State Board of Education.
I read some of it.
Their new curriculum.
I read through the curriculum. And we talked about this before we started recording, but I read through it and I was saying that up until that's one specific line, it was pretty cool. I was like, oh, bet. It was acknowledging civil rights leaders, acknowledging just different things. I was like, yeah, this is good. This is good. I'm reading through. I'm like, I don't really see a problem. Oh, wait, shit.
And then you got to the fine print, or you got to the end where most people taper off and don't continue reading. And it says something to the effect that slaves developed skills, which in some cases could be applied for their personal benefit. And as we started out this segment, there is nothing associated with slavery that is beneficial to anybody except the motherfucker who owned the slaves and the legacies that have benefited from the work that slaves done over the years. Yeah, because those people that are locked up in these prisons, that is slave labor whenever you get done with it. And so I was thinking, I read that line to myself, and I was thinking to myself, let's do some hypothetical shit. Let's just say that a slave or a set of slaves or a group of slaves did acquire some skills from massa, and they perfected those skills, and they started to put those skills to use. Let's ask ourselves, what would happen to those slaves if they were to utilize said skills outside of the realm of massa's benefit? They get beat. Let's say they invented some shit. They came up with some shit from using their skills. What's gonna happen? What did happen on numerous occasions? Master took credit for the shit that the slave developed from his skills that he acquired.
Yep.
And let's say, a group of slaves, even once they got free, quote unquote free, this group of slaves got with another group of slaves, and they used their skills, they built a whole community. They built communities, independent, self-sustained communities. Mm-hmm. And what happened? Let me tell you what happened. You got several that I cite that hold on, I lost you there for a second.
I'm still
several
here.
That I cite. And one that we've all heard talk about recently is Black Wall Street, Greenwood, Tulsa, Oklahoma. 35 blocks. Where my notes at? 35 blocks. 35 blocks, 24 hours of looting and burning, 10,000 people, Black people, ended up homeless, and at least 300 dead. Now, here's a caveat to this at least 300 dead. 300 dead is the people that they found that were cited, that documented. But there were well over 300 people killed in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Springfield, Illinois, in 1908. 5,000 white people converged on the Black section of town, and they killed 6, they lynched 2, and they burned and destroyed numerous property. They just burned and killed and looted. That's what they did. Rosewood, Florida, burned by white mobs. Seneca Village, New York, was inhabited by Black people. Now, they didn't kill them. At least I haven't read anything about killing, but they pushed them out. And now that area is known as Central Park today. Mm-hmm. So this whole notion that Black folks might have benefited from acquiring skills as a fucking slave, yeah, maybe so. We might have acquired some skills, but ain't nobody benefited from shit. Because Massa, they stole every damn thing. If they didn't steal it, they fucking destroyed it. So that just shoots, this shit don't make no sense, man. Like, that's why I said in the beginning, I don't understand how any rationally thinking human being could even sit up and nod their head and agree with this shit, regardless of how many other good things are in there, possibly.
And regardless of how you vote. I'm so sick of it's a left. Sorry to interject, but that part right there just triggered something in me.
Don't be sorry.
Because I'm reading all these conversations on the internet, and granted, I always have to remind myself that what I see on the internet is only a peek into what people think. So just because a lot of people from my hometown are sharing things that are, saying, pretty much giving off this impression that, yeah, fuck Black people. The world is not that bad. Hey, Mari. Hello.
What's up, Marmar? You want to say hey to our audience?
Hi, guys.
Hey, y'all, this is Mari. I know y'all heard us talk about Mari on several occasions. That's Marmar forever, as Kiara called it. That's baby girl Marmar, as I refer to her. What you doing here in Evansville?
I'm chilling with you.
I know, right?
That slap sounded loud.
Hanging out, being bored to death. Huh?
That slap sounded loud.
What you say? It was loud. It hurt too. She heavy-handed. Thank you. I feel much better.
Okay, not too much dead air, y'all. Mari.
Okay, we gotta go.
I'm just letting you know.
She said she just ordered some chicken strips.
Yeah.
Oh, but anyways,
she is her father's child. That's for sure.
That I know. But just the conversations that I'm seeing on the internet, lots of people are agreeing with this, and they're like, yes, let's stop the left agenda. Let's stop the woke. First of all, we addressed that in the last episode. They want to say nigga when they say woke, and I will down that hill. And DeSantis has a whole campaign about stop the woke. And I just want to say that y'all are stupid. But also,
yeah, it really ain't no other way to put it.
Imagine not having an identity except for your political beliefs that you mask as gospel.
And patriotism.
God bless America. And you can get your flag. We can't kneel for our flag, for the flag, because you say it's disrespectful. But you got the flag printed on your back tailgate windshield with the stars as skulls and crossbones. And you being a patriot. That sounds like a hypocrite.
Yeah.
I just went all different ways with that. But y'all get what I'm saying. If you know what I'm saying, if y'all been on the internet, you know what I'm saying. You can't even have a conversation without somebody being like, the left is this, the right is this, blah, 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 blah. Shut the hell up.
For me personally, I can't speak for nobody else. If I'm entertaining a conversation with somebody and they start talking about the left, the right, conservative, liberal, you lose me. Because now you done put a label on the people. Don't label me. I'm not a label because I don't fit. I'm not fitting in none of that shit. Like, I have my own thoughts. I can fucking read something. I can ascertain some fucking figures. I can develop my own opinion about some shit. And it ain't got nothing to do with left, right, up, down, elephant, fucking donkey, Republican,
Jackass.
Democrat, liberal, conservative. It ain't got nothing to do with that bullshit. Like, because there are some things that, and I don't even know how these things get considered conservative or liberal, some of these things, because there's some shit that I agree with that some people think of as conservative. And there's some shit that I can't stand that some people think of as liberal. I know these quote unquote liberals, the thing that get me with them is they want to tell you what's best for you. They think they know what's best for you more than you do for yourself.
And they want to be outraged on your behalf, but without you telling them that you outraged. They standing up for shit. They being outraged at some shit that we not even mad at. Like, we got better energy.
I ain't even mad at.
Nobody is talking about this. No black people are mad at this. White people just said, you know what? I think black people are offended by this. So let me put that message out. I just feel like the world is in a car going 200 miles an hour, and the brick is on the gas.
Off the edge of a fucking cliff.
And the cliff is straight into a heaping pile of flames because it's hot as fuck outside.
I don't even want to talk about the weather. I was sweating again for no reason today. But you know what? If that car drive off that cliff, there's a good chance that a UFO or life from another planet or galaxy could save. Because it's my understanding that there are hearings taking place in Washington, D.C., and people are talking about alien life forms that like really exist, and it's not really being covered in the mainstream media. But these hearings are taking place, and it's some interesting shit. I've not dived into that rabbit hole yet, but I think in the coming weeks, I think that I am going to dive into that rabbit hole because it's some. There's some stuff out there that you really can't fucking.
Let's put a pin in that. That's
really
gonna be an episode
turn
topic.
Blind eye to.
Because I've never believed the people on Earth are the only beings to exist. I've always thought that there was something more. I don't know if I see them as like green, big-headed aliens, but there's somebody. We are not alone. We are. Have you ever seen one of the videos that it show like the Earth in comparison to the galaxies? like this, like space.
Man, it's a little speck.
We are a speck of fucking
can't be the
dust.
only one. Dust. That's it. I think I got a guest for that episode. I think I have a guest for that episode.
Hair and makeup?
No, No, I'm talking about somebody. So this person he had his own, he had a whole radio show and a podcast. One of his topics that he's been posting about lately on Facebook is these UFO sightings and, encounters with alien life forms or whatever by people from the military and other people, like real stuff that's actually being talked about in hearings that is not being covered. So I'm going to reach out to him and see if he might be willing to come on and talk with us about it. But that, that's kind of got us off of this damn Florida State Board of Education bullshit. Because I just can't get over the fact that if a slave had acquired some skills, let's say he acquired some skills. I'm going back here. And he passed those skills to his son. What would happen? What happened? The son was sold off to a whole nother master, a whole nother plantation somewhere, separated from the family. Or, well, like we talked about before, if you go as a slave, you go display some skills like reading. It was some slaves that learned how to read. They was learning how to read in secrecy. And master found out they was reading, and what happened? Beat the shit out of them. Beat the reading out of them. Man, ain't read a word since. I mean, I just don't. It's just irritating, man. It's irritating.
And it's really irritating because, like, what do you do next? What's next? Like, what do you do? Like, we all know this is wrong. People are saying this is wrong. We all know it's wrong. So why is it still continue? Why is it still allowed to continue? Just because some brainwashed ass people got in office.
There's still too many people in powers of position that see it as right. And I honestly don't know if that'll ever change. Like you said a minute ago, it feels like we're in a car going 200 miles an hour towards a cliff that's got some burning hot flames at the bottom of it. Yeah, that's what it feels like sometimes. It's like, I hate to have a defeatist mindset about some things, but you just be like, man, how much further, what more has to be done in order for people to see through this bullshit that's being fed to them every day?
So
it boggles the mind sometimes.
I have a response from those who were putting together the curriculum about this specific line. Have you seen this response?
Probably not.
All right. So it says, the intent of this particular benchmark clarification is to show that some slaves developed highly specialized trades from which they benefited. This is factual and well documented. Some examples include blacksmiths like Ned Cobb, Henry Blair, Lewis Latimer, and John Henry. Shoemakers like James Fortin, Paul Cuffey, and Betty Washington Lewis. Fishing and shipping industry workers like Jupiter Hammond, John Chavis, William Whipper, and Crispus Attucks. Tailors like Elizabeth Keckley, James Thomas, and Marietta Carter, and teachers like Betsy Stockton and Booker T. Washington. Any attempt to reduce slaves to just victims of oppression fails to recognize their strength, courage, and resiliency during a difficult time in American history. They are basically like, they are saying, slaves, they got a little something,
Yeah.
They got a little something. Slavery was kind of good, guys. Look on the bright side. They're like, let me explain why
all the better. Slaves, we can name off about 12 of them in total that definitely acquired some benefits that some skills that benefited them. Yeah, there's about 12 of them that we can name. And then we really don't want you talking about them.
Mm-mm.
We
just want you to talk about them during Black History Month, just a little bit. We're gonna just do a special highlight every day.
And you talk about them in public. You talk about them in the positive. Don't talk about the fucking beatings they probably had to endure, or the separation from the families that they probably had to endure. We don't want you to teach about that. Just talk about those certain skills that they acquired. Matter of fact, it is against the law for you to teach about anything outside of those skills that they acquired. That's some bullshit. Like, man, fuck out of here. All because little Susie over there start crying in class and go home and tell her mama. And her mama is a goddamn evangelical, and she gonna go tell the pastor who done made a substantial contribution to the state senator's campaign, and now he got to draw up a bill.
Exactly.
Oh man, I don't get the fuck out.
Well, let's move your people out of Florida, folks, because it's bad out there. I wish global warming would speed up and we could go ahead and get them out of here.
Yeah, because they leaving Florida. I kind of talked about it on the last podcast. I think I saw a figure today. I think it was like homeowners insurance has risen like 206% since DeSantis took office. It said a national average is like $1,700 a month for homeowners insurance, and for Florida it's like $4,000 or some shit like that. And I'm like, but this the guy y'all want to take. Some of y'all want to be the next president.
That's funny thing though. I was reading, and it don't sound like a lot of people want him to be president, and he is already begging for money and running out of funds. So it'll be very interesting to see that that go forward. But yeah, just big F you to DeSantis and everybody who had part in trying to beautify and romanticize fucking slavery. He said, but it was
I ain't got no filter. Fuck you and anybody who on your bandwagon. Y'all kiss my black ass.
Suck on it.
But what else we want to talk about? We need to talk about something positive now.
I got positive comments. I have a positive comment from Dear John.
You got a positive comment? Is it a Dear John?
It is. If you guys recall, in the last episode, we did have a question about whether Uncle Joe was named after Pinky's
Uncle Joe. Uncle Joe.
Yeah. And so Dear John commented and said, y'all grown ass at 19, LOL. AI is growing rapidly. And yes, if you're not paying attention to or fact checking, you could get some false info. Shout out and condolences to the Cooks family. Uncle Joe / Cookie will be missed. I appreciate being Dear John, LOL, and also a family historian for the maternal side of your fam. So yes, Uncle Joe Beasley was named after Uncle Joe Cooks. Also, your Uncle Richard has Uncle Joe's middle name, Paul. There you have
Paul.
it. Yeah. Another great episode. Now I'm juiced up for the weekend. Love and peace and scalp grease. Dear John out.
Oh, that's dope.
Oh, I love it. I love his comments. I really look forward to his comments. I feel like I learned something. I feel like I'm connecting with him like through the podcast. I love it.
He's like his own segment.
Yeah, he's Dear John. We get Dear John. He is Dear John. Indeed. Dear John. But yeah, that's
you know what we need to do?
We need a good
We
dad
need
joke?
to take a trip to Cheyenne.
Oh.
We need to take a trip to Cheyenne and record an episode and have Uncle John as a guest.
Why we gotta go?
That would be awesome.
We could bring him to us.
No, No, Cheyenne is beautiful. It's beautiful out there.
I be forgetting Wyoming is a state sometimes.
Oh Lord,
it's just not one of the states I think about.
I mean, you are cultured.
It don't be in the news like that for real.
That's a good thing. Shit, I would love to be somewhere that's not in the news.
This is true. I'm going to go look up their crime statistics after I leave here. I'm going to find a small town murder episode about it. But yeah, guys, so episode 20, you know, like I started the episode, I said 20 is a shitty age. And we talked about quite a few shitty topics this episode. And Turbo was also shitty. Can I make the title of this episode?
Turbo was shitty.
Can I put shitty in the title of this episode?
Is this going to be a shitty themed episode for one of your little quickies?
I'm going to find some quickies.
You're going to find something shitty?
I'm going to find a shitty pun.
Associate?
Yeah. Sugar Honey Iced Tea. I'm going to call it the Sugar Honey Iced Tea episode. That's what I'm going to call it.
Look out now.
But Daddy, do you know what I have for you today?
I think you got a dad joke for me. Normally about this time, that's what you have for me. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to say you got a dad joke for me.
I do. I have it right here. It says,
what might it be?
What do a tick and the Eiffel Tower have in common?
A tick and the Eiffel Tower. What does a tick and the Eiffel Tower have in common?
They're both parasites.
I was thinking something along the lines of parody, but hey,
we'll see y'all next week.
You and them damn dad jokes. Hey, if y'all can't be good, y'all be good at it.